You know what's going to happen? People are going to complain. How can we are streaming through YouTube using my handphone? So how can I QR code on the handphone again? No, I like QR code. So I'm just telling them for those who are now and now we are live on Google on YouTube. So people are supposed to be scanning from here. So but those who are already viewing this on their handphone, they cannot scan. They cannot scan. They cannot. They have to. They have. Okay. Whenever you're ready, I just change the screen to your Google form. Okay. One thing we can promise you, when we go live, the camera will capture your picture. Okay. So you can see that you are there. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, you are there. So the height was measured for your height. Okay. So after we got Tan Chai Eng and the rest, we have to adjust accordingly lah. Okay. So whenever you're ready, I just change the screen, then we can start. I just have to boss. Telefon dia, I think he also tengok tak screen. So we have only 4 participants. Okay, je. The basic was doing me lah. Where is it? Tak ada streaming ke? Tapi I say that, okay, you want to start? I just start me aja. Not try away for Nasri or... But he's the one yang... 3 minit ni. 3 more minutes. I can see the eyeballs. Dah kita dah saya dah viralkan. Oh, lampu. Itu kena tanya. Changing my screen. Switching account. Switching account. She not in online. She did your first word. Eh? Up to you. 1 more minute lah. Okay, dah. It's time. Yeah, changing screen. All yours.
Good afternoon to all participants, and welcome to this workshop on how to create OBAs and EMIs using Google Forms. So this is really a crash course, and I must say that I'm myself not an expert on Google Forms, but I learned during MCO, forced to learn. Okay, so the first question, the first most important part is you must be logged in to the Google account. So one easy way is to log into the Gmail. Once you're logged into Gmail, you are also logged into your Google account. So hopefully all of us, in fact, all of us do have a Gmail account in the form of a PPUKM email. So that alone is also a Gmail. So if you log into your own Gmail or to your PPUKM email, you would be able to see this little 9 dots here. These dots refer to Google Apps. So when you click it, you will come to a screen with many smaller icons. Scroll down and you will find Forms. Right? So click on Forms. So creating OBAs, the first part. When you click the Forms icon, you will come to a screen like this. So among the options will be blank quiz. So we just click on blank quiz. Okay. So then you come to a screen that shows the word blank quiz and form description. So the blank quiz, you can write the name of the exam. For example, end of semester 2 exam. And for description, you can just write the date, time, duration, and some little explanation regarding the exam. Right? So I'll give you some time to test it out. You don't have to follow exactly what's on the screen, but you can just do it in a more simple and basic description. Yeah. Just simply lah. Okay, so blank. There are only 2 parts that you must be filled up: the blank quiz heading and the form description heading. Okay. If I'm too fast, just let me know. Right. So next step, after you have done the heading, the exam heading and the description, we would like to have the student matrix number. So this one we have to, if you notice, there is a box that is at the bottom here called untitled question. Okay, this is the one where we will use to put the matrix number. So number 1, we have to select short answer. Okay, by default it is let me see, it is multiple choice, right? So we change it to short answer. Okay, in this menu here. Where's the cursor? Okay, short answer. Okay, lepas tu type matrix number, right? And once you finish typing matrix number, you will notice there will be a message that comes out. Response validation has been added. So we will remove that. Okay, we click remove. And last, select required. This is important to compel the students to fill up the number. Otherwise, they might miss it, or they will just don't bother. Okay, so by doing this, we make sure they have to answer this question. Right. So once this is done, we move on to adding the OBA section. Okay. So if you notice at the right hand side, there is like a menu that says there's a plus and then a document, the TT, and then a video, and then two bars. Okay, the 2 bars refer to add section. So we add the section, and then you will come to another screen. You'll be given another box that says untitled section. So we just change it to OBA section. Right? There is a description which is optional. I normally leave it blank. Right, so creating the first OBA question, we click the plus sign. The plus sign refers to add question. Okay, Ken? Okay. Next, we have to select multiple choice. If this is not selected for you, you can select it now, multiple choice. Alright. And number 2, type in the scenario. Okay, you don't have to follow the exact scenario I show here. It's a very long scenario. You can do your own. It's okay. Okay, then there's a numbering here. You see, I put number 1. This is also optional actually. It depends on what we want. If you want to shuffle your questions later on, then I advise not to have the number 1. Don't number the question, I mean. Right, so after you've done this, we add the options A, B, C, D. So sometimes you might want to be, you might want to display the answers as A dot or A bracket. It's okay, it's up to you. Okay, so if you want to put A chiku, B durian, C nangka, it's fine. Okay, without also can. So in my example here, I didn't use A, B, C, D. Okay, after you've done the options, this is how it looks like, the finished OBA. But this is not what the student sees in the exam. That would be a different screen, right? Okay, after you have reached this stage, now I want to discuss how to do auto marking or auto grading. So you notice there is a function says answer key at the bottom, right? The answer key, you can click it, and you will come to another screen like this. Choose the correct answer. So you are supposed to select the answer that you want, and don't forget the marks as well. The points here refer to the marks. Okay. Usually it's 1 mark per OBA, but if yours is 2 marks, it's up to you. Okay, and when you're done, you click save. Save when done. Okay, after you've done this, you will come back to the screen earlier where you will see a green check mark. Okay, don't worry, the green check mark will not appear in the student's exam. So it's fine. But the point, 1 point will appear. The student can see later. So he will know that this question carries 1 mark. Okay, that's for the OBA. Now we come to the EMI. Yes.
So in one question of OBA, dia ada selalu ada scenario dengan dia ingat step.
For OBA you say?
OBA.
Okay. Option scenario and option.
Statement tu. Sebab dalam Google Form tu tak, dia susah nak pisahkan.
That is the limitation, yes. You cannot enter to have a second line. Memang dia kena betul besar. I tried to enter it, dia tak boleh.
Dia tak ada second line lah, dia
memang kena sambung je. Memang.
The audience are asking to start again.
So again.
You can actually use the add description function at the side of the question.
Yeah.
You see at the side of your question, you actually, this is add question, right? This is add text, this is add image, add video, add section, right? So each section is basically like opening a next page for your question, right? But let's say that, because I also found out that I don't like this, I cannot format my question into paragraphs nicely. So you can use this T, right, to actually format it into, you can have a mountain of text there, and then your question for your OBA is just that 1 sentence. What is the most appropriate, blah, 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 whatever thing you want to ask. Then the answers are down here.
Okay, that is like an EMI format already lah. But the problem with doing that is that you cannot sort properly later on.
Yeah.
Each time you have a description, the text description there, and then when you sort, that thing will remain there. It will not move. So it's got pros and cons lah. Dia takkan sort, yes. This way you ensure it will sort. If you want to sort later lah. Yeah. Okay, so next one is the EMI. Okay, again, if we have been told to separate our EMI and OBAs into separate papers. So we have to go back to the main screen, select blank quiz again. Okay. So this time we edit the same thing except we change to EMI. Dekat bawah tu description tu letak EMI lah. Right. So again, like before, we have to do the matrix number part. And then after that, add section. This time we name it to EMI. Just now was OBA. Okay, actually the sectioning part I didn't explain. The sectioning part I make it something that is recommended because if you do not do this sectioning, later when you sort, you will notice the matrix number box will lari everywhere. By putting section, you are essentially dividing your exam into separate pages. One section tu maknanya one page. So the sorting will be haywire if you have only one page and everything is on it. Sebab tu I letak section supaya the matrix number tu dia kekal dekat page 1. Dia tak lari ke page 2 ke page 3. Itulah. So sectioning is here. Lepas tu, instead of adding question, we add the title and description. TT. Okay. So the title can be the team 1 or team 2, whatever. And the description is the lead in. For pra-clinical, we use the lead in. Right. Lepas tu, we add the stem. The stem will be the actual question. So we click the add question. Okay. So again, there's a number. Okay, before that, you select drop down. Bukan multiple choice, tapi drop down. Lepas tu, type scenario. And then the number is again optional. If we plan to sort our questions, we can omit the number. For this purpose, I've put a number there lah, just for demo. Right, so it's okay. Adding the options. So we just type until 8. Okay. The number will come out by itself, but it will not be shown to the student. This thing is for us to see only. Nanti bila kita run the preview, the numbers will not appear. It's for us to see only. Okay. So this EMI also can be auto-marked. Click the answer key, and you will have to key in the marks like just now, and select the correct answer. And then save when done. Okay. Now, there is a shortcut to create the next stem. Provided your scenario has many stems or many questions, you can just duplicate. So there's a button at the bottom, duplicate, and you just have to change this scenario only. The options are there already. So tukar scenario je. Okay. Lepas tu, don't forget, because we have cloned, when you duplicate the previous stem, you are cloning even the answer as well. So don't forget to open the answer key and change. The previous one will be here. The vancomycin was the previous answer, so we have to change to the new answer and save when done. Okay, so what does the student see actually, or how do we see what the student sees? So we have to preview the form. So at the bottom of the screen, on the right side, you will notice a series of icons. The paint template, and then the eye and the gear. So the eye is the preview. So this is what the student sees. Okay, if we have divided into different sections, you will have different pages. Page 1, page 2, right? So page 1, I just want to have the simple thing only, just the number metric. And that one is compulsory. Kalau student tak jawab ni, dia tak boleh progress to next page. Because we don't want to have problem with, this student, which students hantar which form. Kan macam kita mark manual pun, kan, we receive answer script, no name, no matric number. So we have headache. This student punya siapa, kan, sebagainya, kan. So now we compulsory. Kalau tak jawab matric number, tak boleh proceed. Okay, after that, second page is the EMI. So the student will see only like this. Choose. Okay, senang je kan. Okay, so now we come to the form setting and auto marking. Settings is the gear icon. Okay, first there are three sections. The first section is general settings. Because I used the UKM Gmail to create the form, so that came out this thing about restrict users in UKM. So that one we will untick. We don't want that. Okay, because students might be using their personal email, personal Gmail, which is not the UKM Gmail. So we don't want to have that problem. We untick it and make sure we limit to one response, so student cannot submit many times. Okay. Next one is a presentation. Okay, progress bar. What is progress bar? Basically, is this thing. Page 1 of 2, page 2 of 2. That is the progress bar. Okay, usually it's nice to have it there, but it's optional. It's up to you. So optional, progress bar. Shuffle question order. That is the part that will rearrange the order of questions. And if you want to do this, it is best not to show the question number as well. Otherwise, the student can still tell the friend, oh, question 1, apa jawapan dia? Question 2, jawapan apa? So, if you want to shuffle, do not have question numbers. Okay, the third setting is the quiz setting. This is the one where I have to give extra emphasis, because we are a bit concerned regarding hacking by students. If they, I myself don't know how to hack, but I heard that it can be hacked. So if you have no answers there, of course they hack also no use. They will not know the answers. Okay, but if you want to make this a quiz where it can auto mark, then you have to make sure it remains like this. Make this a quiz, and then make sure the student does not get the feedback or the grade immediately, but you select later after manual review, and do not let them see the correct answers, of course. Common sense, right?
Perhaps just check.
Okay.
If let's say you do this, the student can still hack, they can still go to page source, and after that they can see it, because you've already inserted
Yes.
all the responses yang correct. So if let's say you're doing exam, better you do this, don't make this a quiz.
Yes.
Don't put in all the answers. After the student have finished submitting, then only you insert the answers. So maksudnya you kena ada dua separate sheet lah. Satu tu is for the responses of the student, dan bila you dah masukkan answer tu, baru dia berikan. Jadi bila student receive the form, still no answer.
Yeah.
You have to submit the form after the time.
Yes. I do this on regular basis. Exam dah habis, I go back to the form, then I put in the keys, and then I click the button on release marks.
Yes.
Then the marks will be generated again.
Yeah, so I come to that actually. So to totally avoid answers from being reviewed through hacking by tech-savvy students, which I'm not, so auto marking has to be disabled, right? However, after exam is over, the form owner or the form administrator can still re-enter the answers and the marks using the method shown earlier. That's why I showed earlier, because I want to make it easy.
So even for the Putra also don't choose the
Yes, jangan.
you can put in the points so the student know how much each answer will represent, but do not key in the answer.
That one can do it. So don't worry, even after the exam is over, once you put in the answers, you can still enable automatic later on. So it can be re-enabled. So to disable automatic, senang je. Just change it. Make this a quiz to not a quiz anymore. But this will also delete. Once you do this, if you have already done all the answers in earlier, by doing this, all the answers hilang. Okay, so reinsert kena buat, memang kena reinsert balik lah. Okay, understand that? Save when done. Okay, so how to get the form? How do you tell the students where to find the form? We have to go to the send button, click the send button, and then go to this icon that says chain here. When you click the chain, you will come to a very long URL. So I think we shorten it is better. Since there's a button to shorten, we shorten the URL. And then that is the link that you can give to your students. Right? There is another website called Tiny URL. I think you can use that to even shorter.
No, I mean whatever shorter URL, can we rename it?
No, I don't think that's advisable. I don't think so.
Dulu ya, sekarang dah disable.
But if you want an even shorter one, you can use the third party lah, Tiny URL to have a shorter URL.
Sama je, lebih kurang je.
Sama lah. To me, this one is short enough lah. Okay, so how to control exam duration? Okay, unlike the UKM folio, we cannot set the time open and time close. We can manually buka dan tutup exam. So how to do that? We go to responses, right? And then you can just turn this accepting or not accepting responses. Itu je. So it's very manual, this thing.
Tapi payahlah sebab student kita bagi dia flexibility to enter the exam anytime they like, kan?
Yes, itu problem dia, betul. That's the problem.
So jadi kita kena tengok siapa yang last masuk, kita kena tengok kepada yang last masuk, kita akan click time to which kita tutup lepas tu. Oh, just normal.
Just one of the things. If you can have a session di mana semua student dalam team serentak, sebelum semua start, on the first stage tu, you can create something like password. They have to enter a specific word before they can go to the next stage. Kan masa yang you show the page part metric kan? You can put a short text. Selagi orang tu tak jawab betul short text tu, lagi tu dia tak boleh lompat to next section. So you control the password there. So semua orang akan start serentak. Mana kalau student dia dapat buka soalan awal tu, tapi sebab dia tak ada password, kalau this not really password lah, it's more of key. So dia dapat key tu masuk, dan dia baru boleh proceed semua start serentak. Kalau you are particular about time, there is a free option, they call it TIME5, TIME5, which you can use to set the time exactly. But I tell you lah, traumatic pada student. Traumatic. I tell you, I got 3 adults crying on the teams. Bila kena kick out, semua happy.
No, but it's good. The time can see if let's say the student have too many tabs or windows open. Like they attempt to pakai time timing. They will show you. The student is not focused at one tab. The student opens another tab. Cantik ya. Tapi tadi kan bukannya ada limitation of number of participants in one time ke? 50. 100 kan?
Dia punya bayaran cuma $6. Kau kan bank.
Yeah, we hope we don't come to this lah.
But this morning was interesting lah. Student complain tak ada login kan?
Oh ya.
Sebab more than 1,000 people login serentak.
Okay, soalan. Yang first option adalah UKM folio. So kalau on list problematic student baru kita benarkan dia pergi Google Form.
You can crash, you can follow crash.
Oh, okay. Kalau tak crash, maksudnya individu student ada problem management atau whatever ke, dia masih kena continue juga dengan UKM folio. Yes.
Follow SOP nanti.
Okay, so next is the best part, how to get the marks. Okay, after the students have answered, all the students have answered, we can look at the responses will be updated here. You can see 146 responses. This is my pilot that I did with Dr. Nasri last time. So after that, you need to look for these 3 dots here. Okay, click on the dots. Lepas tu, download responses. Download to the hard disk lah. And this is how it looks like. The score will be here, and the rest of the timestamp, the rest like feedback ni cuma ni tak penting lah. Kalau nak UBA EMI, we only focus on the total score and the matrix number. That's all. Thank you.
MEQ?
MEQ tu ada tauke dia.
Tapi mungkin Tim boleh tunjuk the slide yang download before that. So
ni.
sometimes you have many papers, right? For one subject. For example, kursus EMT ada OBK, lepas tu ada IQ kan. Dan you nak semua tu in one single sheet. Still possible. So kalau macam dia guna option yang ni, download respond ni,
Individual.
individual sheet. So you have one Excel sheet for that particular form. So kalau you nak buat supaya many forms fit into a single sheet, you can do that. Just open Google Sheet, name it according to your course name. So instead of choosing download responses, you choose you choose this one. Select response destination, and then you name it the Excel sheet atau Google sheet yang you dah name tu, you name that as the destination for all the forms. So you have many forms, but you make that Google sheet the destination for all the forms. Jadi you dapat marks semua calculated in single sheet. Faham tak? Macam semua masuk dalam satu Excel sheet. Kalau dia pakai spreadsheet, dia tak pakai Excel. So all the forms will fit into a single sheet.
Alright, so that's all. Hope it was interesting. Any questions? Well, the good news is Google Forms is actually much easier to use than UCANfolio. But the bad news is it has limited functions. So although when I started off with Google Forms, I was quite unhappy. He told me, he said, you must migrate to UCANfolio. And I was like, oh no, Because I knew UCANfolio is more difficult to learn. But after I learned UCANfolio, I find that UCANfolio much better. Much better, and the control is amazing. The amount of control that you have is great. Google Form is crap now. Okay, if no questions.
The other weakness of maybe Google Form is the response sheet. Like you said just now, of course they will give you all the marks. But for us, we want to analyze the paper. We want to see whether this paper is it good or not good. Your difficulty index, your distribution index, all that thing. You have to manually convert all those text answers and convert it into scores for you to analyze. That's another business. So you have additional work to be done if you want to look into quality of these questions.
Okay, thank you. I will pass the mic to Prof. Awada.
Ada soalan ke sebelum start?
But you can raise that question. You take this. Then you can raise it. Shall we walk around this one?
Ya, kalau ada soalan boleh terus panggil.
The best is spreadsheet format. You can download all the answers dalam spreadsheet. Lepas tu you boleh analisa lagi.
Tapi dia kena convert sebab it's automatic to they give you all the text and you have to answer. So you have to convert into scores first.
Wah, petang ni dah dapat 5
Ya, for the bicara emas. Okay, so I'm for the next one is modified essay questions. I'm not too sure because ENT we don't have modified essay questions. So this was I postulated what will happen in your department. So if let's say you want other settings, so you just let me know lah, yeah. And then I will try to troubleshoot and see how I can help. So this presentation is basically to tell you how we can convert the modified essay questions in Google Form. So if you search in YouTube creating sequential modified essay questions on Google Form, you'll be able to find this video and you can revise ataupun get back to it if let's say there are something that you missed in this presentation. So for modified essay questions, most of the responses are free text responses. So free text responses, it can be short, it can be long. So you need to determine whether you want a short response or a long response. And secondly, some departments wish to have modified essay questions presented sequentially. So in the clinical department, sometimes we have certain questions to ask for history, and then after that, moving on, you give some significant history and you ask physical examination to the students. So in terms of formatting, if let's say you want sequential arrangement, so a question is given one after another in separate pages or separate sections. In this instance, you want the question to be able to disable editing of previously submitted responses. So the students cannot edit their previous responses. So I'm not too sure whether this one is necessary for your department or not, but the whole presentation will try to cater for this kind of request or this kind of format. Number three, modified essay questions, usually you have complex scenarios, and some of the template need to have text, images, and even diagrams. So all this you have to compile in a template. Usually you would use Microsoft Word, okay? Alright. So this is usually what the template looks like in Microsoft Word. So you've got the stem, then you've got the questions to ask the student. So you prepare the template in Microsoft Word. You must include trigger for each of the sub-questions, because in Google Form you cannot have you can duplicate a trigger like what Ding has shown, but sometimes you may want to add certain things onto the trigger. So prepare this beforehand. Save images, figures, tables and graphs in image files, and make sure you save this in good resolution. You may want to use certain formats, for example PNG or TIFF, to make this possible. So then what you need to do is you have the template already prepared and you want to enter it into the Google Form. So I know that most of you has got widescreen laptops, so try to open two windows at the same time so that it's easy for you to copy and paste. If you open a single window, it's difficult. You copy, you paste, tak tahu you kat mana dah kan. So open two windows side by side like this, like what I've shown here. And then you can use shortcut keys. For Windows, you can use Ctrl C and Ctrl V to copy and paste. For Mac, you can use Command C and Command V to copy and paste. Yeah? So this is an example in which we are going to copy and paste a modified essay question into Google Form. So this is your template and this is your Google Form. So for modified essay question, choose either short answer or paragraph. Short answer ni, I've tried to Google what is the limit, what is the cut-off point in terms of maximum characters that you can insert. Tapi tak ada sebut. So I've tried up to 2 lines, it's actually still possible for short answer. For paragraph, there is a maximum character limit. So maximum character limit is 32,000 characters. So if you have 10 characters per word, then it's about 3,200 words lah. So if your student is going to submit responses more than 3,200 words, better ask them to upload a file rather than choose the option paragraph. Yeah. Okay. So you can also add descriptions, descriptions to the questions to highlight particular things that you want the student to write on. This is like answer template in UKM Folio. In UKM Folio, you ada tulis answer template kan? List 5 only. Or highlight the example and its justification or something like that. So supaya student know what actually they have to write in the answer. Yeah. So this can be found in the description section. section and you can write it down. And of course, similarly, you have to add the answer key. Yeah? So answer key, you can add the answer key 10 points ke, berapa banyak ke. Don't forget to click required. So that if the student fail to answer this question, the student cannot go on or proceed. Okay. So what you need to do is feed all the question and sub-questions into separate sections of the form. So after each sub-question, add a separate section. If there are images, add them where necessary. Yeah? Okay. Then this is something that I try to recommend if let's say you want to create an illusion of sequentiality, which if the student submit their response, they confirm that their response is final, then only they can navigate to the next page and they cannot revisit their previous answers. Yeah? So in essence, what we are trying to do is to tell the students, you must answer this, you must finalize your answer, and then you can go on. Okay, so you can add a multiple choice question like so. You can ask, are you sure you want to submit this answer? You cannot go back to this question once your answer is submitted. Then the options should be yes or no, and you click at the three buttons there, and you go to section based on answer. So if the student answer yes, the Google form, you have to feed into the Google form so that the Google form will navigate to the subsequent section. But if the student click no, the Google form will navigate to that particular section. You get me or not? Boleh kan? Maksudnya if the student kata yes, then only pergi ke the subsequent section. Then the student will get the sub-question, the subsequent sub-question. Okay. Tak apa, nanti ada contoh. Right, so student click yes, then dia akan go to section 2 or question 1B. Click no, then dia stay at that particular page. Alright, so this is how it looks like. Setelah kita masukkan semua tu dan student attempt, so you can see masukkan email address ataupun matric number as what Ding has shown. So let's say I type a short answer here. Then I go to the next question. Dia tanya, are you sure you want to submit this answer? Panjangnya I tulis. Rajin masa tu. Yes. Baru dia klik go to the subsequent question. Answer. Right poster oral lumes. Yeah. So if the student click yes, then only the form will bring you to the next subsequent question.
Soalan.
Yes.
Itu apa perlu ada yang nak yes ke no?
Ini sebenarnya is to create an illusion of sequentiality if it's important to you. So if it's not important to you, it doesn't matter that the questions are sequenced, delivered sequentially. You don't need to do this. You just feed into the single form all the essay questions.
Tapi kalau kita nak jadikan dia sequential pun kita tak perlu klik the shuffle question kan. So dia still go on to, dia akan jadi sequential question tak kan?
Dia akan jadi sequential question, cuma the students can go back to their previous responses and edit it. Because what happens is as they go along your essay questions, they might find clues as to the answers of the previous questions. So they might go back and edit their answers for the previous questions. So we don't want that to happen. If let's say it's important to you.
Our command is non-sequential. Kita tak ada sequential. Kita benar kasih dia patah balik. Kecuali positif.
Inilah sebab kalau ikut dia praktis pun
boleh patah balik.
Boleh patah balik kan?
So it depends on you.
Kecuali positif.
Okay, so kalau dah tak ada, saya tunjuk caranya macam mana. Atau ada soalan?
Kita praktis tu kalau dalam
section tu is a separate page, but the form is not yet being submitted. Boleh faham? Okey. Ke nak tunjuk? Nak tunjuk ataupun nak tunjuk? Okey.
So if we choose the answer is required. Sorry, if we don't choose it, that means the student can opt out the from answering and they should follow through just fine.
Yes.
But if that question we choose as required response, what does it mean? That means student tak boleh
Proceed
to the next question.
Next question, ya.
Tapi kalau patah balik boleh.
Okey saya tunjuk dekat you. Yang ini yang sample form yang I buat untuk the example yang I show in YouTube kan. So dia ada 5 sections. So this is the first section. Then that's the second section, question 1B. So first section tu question 1A, then question 1B, then question 1C, then question 1D. So katakanlah kalau you klik kat sini not required kan, macam I dah tunjuk tadi tu kan. So if the student skip this question and then the student kata you sure you want to submit the answer, dia kata yes, and then dia nak proceed tak boleh because the student tak letak apa-apa entry at this particular question. Sama juga. Okay. Sama juga. As long as you click required, you must put in some entry before you can proceed. So ada juga setting di mana if let's say some students you nak their responses to be of a certain length, you can do that in Google Forms. Contohnya markah dia 20 tapi student tu jawab 5 patah perkataan je. Tak logik lah kan? You can also do that in Google Forms. Just have to click response validation. They can count the characters that the student has entered. Kalau tak cukup, dia still merah. You tak boleh proceed. Okay, so saya tunjuk satu contoh macam mana kita buat ya. Jadi jawab satu soalan. Okay. So katalah begini, kita buka side by side. Ya, saya cari file saya yang ada soalan template. Sorry, this laptop is an old laptop. It's been around for 12 years. I use this because the banyak port. Dia ada HDMI dengan VGA port. Okay. So, let's say this is your examination paper kan? Examination paper for FFL 4212. So, you can add ni, contohnya you nak pergi kat sini, you want to add descriptions to the form. You want to add the integrity declaration, what does the paper consist of, how many pages, how many questions, and control V. So you can have copy and paste all the integrity declaration, the characteristic of the exam paper, which questions the student can go back, which questions the student cannot go back. Okay. So then you go down. Katakanlah saya nak add satu section kat sini. So I click here. Tulis itu add section. Click add section. So this would be section 2. So you name the section. Maybe this is question 1A. Right? Description. You boleh tambah. Kalau tak nak pun tak apa. This question kita nak tukarkan kepada paragraph answer. Kita tengok dekat sini apa based on the template, which one. So this one, these 5 relevant physical examination and its expected findings. So yang ni kena panjang lah kan. So kat sini kita choose Ctrl C then Ctrl V. So you get all the questions here repeated. So dekat description ni kita tak ada lah 1+1 sebab tadi I tertambah 1+1. So this is long answer text. Apa yang you expect student to answer sudah akan type dekat sini. So answer key ni berapa banyak markah? How many marks you want to give to the student? For example, this one 10 marks. Then you click done. Okay. So if you want to specify what kind of response you want from the student, you can click description there and write. Limit your answer to 5 relevant findings only. Then student will write only 5. Okay. Then click required. Okay. So if you want to continue, you don't want to create a separate section, you just continue, tambah dekat lagi satu. You click sini, add question. So you want to add picture here, boleh. Let's see. Control V. Nak add picture, you just click this icon. And then you can add the picture that you want to add. So you boleh add, you boleh drag the file. So ini I lupa nak download dulu file. You boleh download dulu file and then drag the file here so that you can have pictures added here. Easy, right? Okay, any questions? Okay, kalau tak ada, saya habis di sini dulu. Cik
Kita boleh guna ni for unmanned OSCE.
Unmanned OSCE, definitely yes. Yes, definitely yes.
Gambar,
Yeah, you can.
questions.
Betul. Memang ada gambar dan ada questions. Just that you have to fit the scenario tu mungkin kena repeat many times lah. You duplicate kan, because ada banyak soalan. Atau you buat in the same form. Satu page.
Kalau kita punya shuffle tu dengan description sekali shuffle.
So jangan shuffle lah kot sebab multiple essay question ni nak dia in sequence, right?
But we don't have to say sequential, kan?
Tak semestinya. Nasri cakap not important. It's just that you can folio allows you the sequentiality punya, the sequential punya option kan. So kalau you nak recreate this in Google Form, it's still possible. But there's a secret. Okay, my definition of secret is you tell one person at a time. So you can cheat this sequentiality on Google Forms. So I can tell you how the students can do it. But if you give instructions macam ni, student memang akan follow punya sebab dia tahu dia tak akan go back. So dia akan ikut. Okay, Maki. Untuk essay ni memang dia tidak boleh, dia kena manual marking. Kalau you nak mark on the Google Sheet, nanti kan all the answers they can fit into the Google Sheet. Then you kena download dekat situ dan manually mark. Kalau you nak mark based on keywords juga boleh. Kalau your answer is short. Sama dengan prinsipal yang tadi tu, lepas dah habis tu baru masukkan answers. Yes. But if it's a long essay question, susah juga.
I think for this one, kalau yang essay ni one question lah. Kalau nak OSCE tu, macam you have multiple questions, it won't be in one question and it will be in different.
It depends on you. If let's say you want to make all the sub question in a single page, it's possible. Or you want to make the sub question in different pages, it is also possible.
But then question wise is one card is for one question kan?
Yeah. So you add each question each time. Yes. Ada soalan lagi ke? Kalau tak ada, saya jemput Cik Ing.
Baru naik atas dari bawah.
Biasalah. Semua dah faham, dah pro.
Tak, yang lain tu mungkin ada yang nak tanya kot.
Saya pergi.
Boleh tak
Boleh, boleh. Better ikut sini.
Better kat situ.
Sebab kalau langgar, okay, dia nak cabut tu.
Itulah nak tanya, tak tahu sebab I tak reti nak pasang kabel-kabel ni. I just tahu that the HDM dia ada HDMI output je.
Okay. Lagi soket kat sini. Kita just
Okay.
Okay. Ada sini di paper.
Awak pergi kamera tak pasang.
You tinggi sikit kan? Okay, just nice.
Just nice. Okay. So sebelum saya start ada soalan lain apa-apa ke nak tanya dulu yang membara?
Sorry, yang short answer. Sorry, short answer tu. Dia macam lagi portfolio tu short answer where you can only answer the answer can only be just a few words or tak short answer itu tapi yang tu boleh matematik. Tak boleh juga. So beza dengan paragraph is just the amount of precision.
Any more questions?
I tak berapa faham yang required.
Bahayanya saya tunjukkan YouTube nanti dia nampak history video apa yang tengok.
Untuk answer ni kadang-kadang kita the questions like list, list variable and can we move one to three ataupun
Do what, sorry?
apa make it a point form still 1 to 3. Let's say list three drafts or something.
Usually if in Google Forms, memanglah you tulis kat satu list two most appropriate answer for this kan. And then the students do, because it is an open box, diorang sendiri yang kena type satu dot apa, enter, dua dot. So actually pun initially I buat slide saja. Lepas tu tengok Mawadah buat video kan, so I pun ikut nak buat video. So aku tunjuk video je, dia tak payah bercakap sebenarnya. Alright, so what I'm going to cover now is about KFQ ya. So KFQ sebab dia kompleks sikit. KFQ atau OSP atau even your mini essay question kalau dia related to a single thing. So let's just gonna play this now. Tapi bunyi dia connected kan?
Connect. Dia main.
Tapi tak kuat dah.
I'm monitoring it.
Okay. Tak dengar.
Oh,
The computer audio tak dengar. Sekejap
Maximum.
Kalau tak aku cakap je lah.
Okay.
I cakap je Alright. So
Kita sini.
I pun ada ni. I also have this UE box.
So maximum.
Okay, I play. Dah maximum for my system. We mentioned before we go to this workshop that future questions and questions have multiple parts. Nak microphone.
Hi, very good evening. So today I'm going to show you how we're going to create Google Forms questions using Google Forms. Right? Now, do you remember that we mentioned before during the previous workshop that key feature questions and output questions have multiple parts linked together, which include the scenario, followed by several sub-questions. And these sub-questions can be in the form of writing questions, or it can be in the form of multiple choice questions with multiple correct answers, or what we call select questions. So again, to make it easy for you to find your questions, the best thing that you can do is actually to create a folder to store your quiz so that you know where it is, right? So I'm going to put here Google Form Workshop. Okay, I'm going to create this. So let's just go here, okay, and let's create the form within this folder. So click on New, go to More, Google Form. So let's just name the paper here, key feature question paper. Okay. You can make sure that this is the name of the paper here. You click this and it will automatically name this form in your folder as key feature question paper this one. Right? Now you can insert the form description here, instructions to candidates. This paper contains how many key feature questions, blah blah blah, duration, from when, blah blah blah. Okay, and the first questions that you will collect, probably most importantly, will be the magic number, correct? And you see that Google Form has automatically detected that this is going to be a short answer question. For you to insert your first key feature question, go to, okay, so each section will be a new question, right? This is because your sections will actually help to divide your questions into several components of your clinical scenario, plus the multiple questions within it. So let's just name this key feature question 1, or you can name it OSCE 1, depending on whether you're clinical or clinical department. Okay? In the description, you can type the clinical history. 10-year-old boy presented with blah 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 blah. Okay, you can have paragraphs. Okay, on examination, his temperature was 38.0 degrees Celsius. Now, this is a limitation of Google Forms because you cannot use advanced formatting like superscript or subscript, and you cannot insert special characters like alpha or beta. Okay, so this will be your clinical scenario. Now, how to insert the table, right? You will have to use the image function, or if you can use the image function for your slides or diagrams or any photographs that you will have. So, inserting a table, I will show you how to do this with PowerPoint. I use PowerPoint because it's easy for me to create image files with PowerPoint. Yeah? For you to do this, first of all, you need to go to Design, go to Slide Size, custom your slide size. You can adjust the slide size to be smaller because we want to create an image that fits the size just nice. You don't want your image to have too much of white space, right? So for example, 7 inches by 3 inches, you can make it into say 6 inches if you want, okay, by 3 inches. Let's click OK. Oh, but I see here 6 inches is actually too small, right? So now let's change it back to 7 inches by 3 inches. Okay, so anyway, after you adjust the sizes, you know that you type in your table, you can insert the table by going to insert table and just insert as many columns and rows you want. Enter the information. Okay, subsequently you're going to save as, right? By default you save it as a PowerPoint, but you can save it as an image file. So there are different options for you. You can save it as a GIF, JPEG, PNG, TIFF, or bitmap. But usually more familiar with JPEG, so I'll just save it as a JPEG. So click Save here. So it will ask you whether or not you want to export it for all slides or just this one. So if you make multiple images on different slides, you can choose to save just one slide or the whole slide. So I'm going to click just this one for the image table. Alright. Now we are back in our Google form again. Alright. And we will click here to add image. You can upload, you can browse, go and find the image. Make sure you select the correct one. So this is the JPEG file, this is the PowerPoint file. So I'm not going to use the PowerPoint, I'm going to open this image file. And you can add in the title for the image, for example. The following shows his renal profile results. Okay. So this will be the descriptor, including the image. Right? Now we're going to add in our questions. So let's say I add in questions, add question, this class sign here. Okay. List 2 most appropriate differential diagnosis. Okay, so automatically detected as paragraph. And next question, you see select 2 most appropriate treatment options. Okay. And again, it auto detects it as checkboxes. So you can write a few treatment options, like for example, betamethasone valerate cream, aqueous cream, iconazole cream, blah 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 blah. Say right? And now you can also come here, click the 3 dots there, and have shuffle option order if you want. Right? You can also have response validation. So here you only want 2, right? So you can change this to make sure that the candidate knows maximum 2. Okay, custom error tags you can put there that you may only select up to 2 options. Okay, so this will be your key feature 1 with the clinical scenario and the sub-questions. So the next key feature question you want to add a section, put here key feature question 2. So you can have a different scenario, blah 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 blah. Okay, pass your questions, right? And remember that you need to adjust your settings. So you go to settings. You can collect the email addresses if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine. Okay. Make sure you remove this, restrict to users and PPUKM. Okay. Limit to 1 response. This means that all the students must have a Google email, so advisable for them to use the km.edu.my because that's actually the Google email as well. Make sure they cannot edit after submit, right? And they cannot see summary charts and text responses, so you save that. Okay. Now, you also have got options to shuffle question order, but please don't select that. You can show your progress bar if you want, and you can and remember that this time around we will ask not to put in an answer key, but how you can make it an answer key is if you select this to make this into a quiz. Okay? And check that you put here that you do not release the grade immediately. Okay? And you unselect this so that you cannot see any of this. So you save. Now, how you can put in an answer key for long answer text. Okay? Just remember to set there that this was 4 marks. Okay, and answer feedback, you can type this, and this will be visible to the examiner when they want to mark the paper. So let's say a topic X, SEMA, to Senior Corporates, for example. Okay, so you can save that. You put that done. Okay, students cannot see this, yeah? And then the next one, answer key for the select, let's say, the answer key, you're going to make this 4 points. So correct answer this and this. Okay, done. Okay. Next is what do you want to see when, what do students see? Okay, remember that when you see questions and responses, you are in the edit view. It means that you are the owner of the form, so you can edit this form, right? But what students see will be different. So you click on this eye, this is preview. So this is how you will see the how students will see the question paper. So the title, instructions that you have typed in, okay, and then email address. So let's put there, metric number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, next. So students will see the sections labeled nicely with the information typed within. They will see this image here. You'll see a question, so they can type something here. So a topic, eczema, Kenya. Okay, and then let's say that this, this. So you notice that this has all been jumbled. Yeah. Next. So next question. Then finally they click submit. So when students submit, when you're in your edit view, you see that the responses, there's one there already. Okay, and this is the score, right? And this is the answers that they have given. Yeah. So we can actually go to question. Right? Metric number we're not going to grade, so let's just go to the next one. And here, open-ended question here, they will inform you that it's an ungraded response, so you can fill in the marks that you want. So out of 4, let's say, okay, lah, very good, 4, but no, only Kenya, only no for Boris, okay, 3. Okay, so you can put 3, and remember to click save below here. Okay. And next question, select auto-graded for you already, but you can override if you need to, and if you change this, you have to click save. Okay, you can see the answer question paper by individual if you want. So you can, for example, here by EPPKM, you can see this is the responses for this student in general. Okay. And if let's say this was a test response and you don't want to keep this among your students' paper, remember to do this. Delete response. You can delete individual question papers. Okay, that's it. So thank you. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And also we will share the slides with you after the workshop, so no worries.
Cakap siang-siang. Okay. Yep. So any questions?
Right.
Kena try. Yeah. So I guess that apa yang kita boleh buat sekarang mungkin cuba nak buat sendiri kot. But if you want to see yang tadi tu, I need to log into the other email. Banyak sangat email account. So the reason why kenapa I start dengan ajar buat folder ialah kalau kita tak buat folder, you punya barang-barang dalam Google Drive tu akan sangat berterabur. Masa you nak mark nanti you tak jumpa mana form. That's why you start with making a folder. Sama dengan masa kat question bank, you start by making category kat dalam question bank dulu kan. Right? That's for UKM folio. Right? So now my folder pun banyak gila kat sini, but luckily it's sorted alphabetically. Right? If you click this, you nak tukar order, dia start daripada A to Z. I click this, dia tukar lah. Okay, and now tadi I save kat Google Forms workshop, so I can still open back tadi question paper saya tadi tu, and I boleh click. Alright? So macam ni, kalau you nampak yang ni kan, this is, you kena tengok lah. Kalau you tengok forms, ada dua view. Satu view ialah yang student nampak punya view. Satu view ialah yang creator punya view. This is creator punya view. Right? So student tidak akan nampak yang view ini. Okay? How do you know this is your creator view? You ada questions and responses. Kalau tak ada dua ni, maksudnya you are in student view. So jangan confuse bila you buka you punya form. Right? And then kalau nak tengok student punya view, macam Ding ajar tadi, klik mata ni, preview. Then you akan nampak apa yang student nampak. So they will not see your answer key, they will not see ni lah. Cumanya sebab kot-kot lah ada yang prodigy sikit kan, yang dia pandai nak tengok HTML script tu. That's why kita tak masukkan answer key terus lah. Okay. Soalan dah bocor. Tak apa, jangan risau. Yang ni bukan soalan pun. You tengok ni history pun tak lengkap ni. Tak ada apa-apa lah. Ni main-main letak je. Nanti akan ada slide. Dekat slide, what I will do is that I'll probably paste this balik ke dalam UKM Folio punya senarai tu. Senang nak rujuk balik lah kot. So that semua tak stress. Okay. But so far, any questions ke tak? There's one thing yang tadi I lupa nak demo kan, is tadi akan letak response validation so that they cannot answer more than 2 kan. So let's just try this again. Tadi I dah delete my responses so I can answer again. Kalau tak, my email dah tak boleh pakai. Okay. Email setting tu is dia akan automatically collect if you put there that to send if you want to release grades ke atau apa ke. So you boleh set the form to collect email addresses. Right? Kalau you tak nak pun boleh juga. Tapi kalau you ada, the good thing is that kalau ada apa-apa you nak contact balik student tu senang sikit kot. Right? So kat sini, the only thing is that sebab macam kita cakap tadi kan, kita nak kasih scenario tu nampak cantik, ada paragraph, you boleh nampak clinical history satu paragraph, physical examination satu paragraph. Kalau you buat semua dalam question saja, memang you tak boleh, dan you tak boleh nak format cantik-cantik, tak ada bold, tak ada apa kan. So that's why that you can separate it out like this lah. Sama ada you pakai section, tapi kalau you pakai section, satu section is actually one page of the question paper. So my KFQ is now being structured so that one key feature is one page. So they cannot see the next page until they fill up semua ni, then dia pergi next, baru dia boleh nampak the next page. But they can actually go back. So halfway through, kalau aku nak tengok balik lah soalan aku tadi, dia boleh back dan next, dan dia setakat ni I think dia simpan lah kot. Ada tak? Tengok. Aku tak jawab ni lagi. A, B, C, D, E, F. Student boleh type apa yang diorang nak because it is a paragraph form kan. Alright. So tadi response validation kita kata select tu kan. Kot-kot lah student ni dia nak cuba juga, dia nak tembak. Tak boleh. Right? Bila dia try to jawab more than 2, akan keluar you may only select up to 2 options. So dia tak boleh proceed pun. So in the end dia terpaksa juga pilih apa yang dia nak. Kot-kot macam ni ke, tak nak lah ni lah. And you tengok yang ni tadi dengan video saya, dia sudah berubah kan sebab saya sudah shuffle answer options.
Tapi bukan macam bagi hint ke student ke, banyak tulis jawapan yang kita orang tak.
Banyak tulis apa?
Maksudnya kalau jawapan nak boleh lebih daripada 2, so student tak ada option yang dia boleh pilih lebih daripada 2. So maksudnya dah bagi hint kat dia, that is the amount of answer that you need rather than
for us, clinical punya, kita memang stated exactly. Key feature question, kita nak dia jawab 2, so dia mesti bagi 2 sahaja. So, for us, kalau macam postgraduate conjoint exam, kita pun ada ratio the number of options that we can put. So, let's say that we want to select 2, I need to give them 1 to 3. Means that one correct answer must have 1 to 3 tu maksudnya ada lagi 2 option yang salah lah. So if let's say select 2, I should have at least then patutnya kena ada 6 option untuk dia pilih 2. So that minimize the tembak punya chances lah.
Cuma question tu dia boleh put masa kat question untuk KFQ bukan give 2 answer, give 2 best answer supaya dia tahu dia ada option 10 tapi dia nak bagi 2 best answer. And then dalam answer skill pun the first 2 dia mungkin letak 2 marks for each, the second yang another 4 mungkin half marks. Itu KFQ beza dengan MQ, dia more focus and specific.
That is question format punya ni lah. Okay. So kalau I dah jawab yang tu, lepas tu kita pergi tengok balik kat responses. Okay. So you have summary, question and individual lah. So sama macam yang tadi kan, you nak tengok kalau you nak grade semula. So this is what you see as an examiner nanti lah. Okay. So kalau you isi macam ni kan, then masa marking untuk examiner senang sebab answer key ada kat situ semasa you menanda. You tak payah nak kena klik cari. Tak payah nak letak menu lagi satu kat tepi untuk marking semua. Okay. Tak adalah susah sangat kan. Tapi saya tak pasti. Sebab saya tengah fikir macam mana saya nak bagi hands on exercise, tak boleh juga, saya tak ada. But any questions ke apa ke yang kalau you need us to, you have questions about this thing, you can ask and then we try to see how we can help.
Kalau I letak setting make this I padam, bila I dah set up the question tu, I tak boleh nak letak jawapan betul sebab saya tempat
Sorry, come again?
Bila I letak the setting as make this kita off kan,
cannot. Once you disable the presetting, your answer key semua kena padam.
Tapi kalau sudah dah ada exam,
baru you masukkan.
Baru you on kamera quiz option. Jadi you boleh masukkan.
Ya. Masa kat belakang ni kan, this quiz setting ni pun sebenarnya I akan buangkan semua sebab miss questions, maksudnya kalau dia jawab salah, dia akan tahu I dapat salah jawapan ni. So in a way that they get hint that yang mana jawapan betul tu. So, semua kat sini saya buangkan semua. This is settings for quiz. Settings quizzes. Macam mana nak cari setting ni? Setting ni ialah dia punya cogwheel kat ni, tepi sebelah dengan send ni ada satu cogwheel ni. Ni ialah setting. Dia total points received for each question. Maksudnya berapa markah dia dapat untuk soalan yang dia dah jawab. So saya buangkan semua. But the answer value that you have, kalau katakan dibenarkan guna answer key, right? You masukkan berapa point tu. Actually student masih boleh nampak. But this one actually tells you, dia dah jawab semua tu, aku dapat 3 markah. Tapi yang mana jawapan tu, mungkin dia tak tahu lah kot. Sebab you dah buang correct answer. Off. You can use this actually for many things lah. Although kita ajar ni sebab terdesak nak buat module ni untuk backup plan kan. But you can use this Google Form for a lot of things like your usual teaching ke, team-based learning ke, it's quite useful lah. Ini contoh ya.
Dalam Google Form, katalah kita buat PFQ, kita cakap list 3 important or name whatever, katalah kita nak 3 jawapan kan. The format is still short answer or
sebab dia dua-dua tu lebih kurang sama, tetapi I use paragraph ni because you got more freedom to type in the way that you want to type. You can enter and go next paragraph. I think kalau short answer, you tak boleh enter the next paragraph kan? Dua line je lah.
You press enter and go to the next line or boleh lah. So kalau paragraph, dia allow you to go to the next line. So kalau macam kita nak do the answer tu, kita better use paragraph or short answer. I know, it's like list 4 possible causes for this, give me 4 differential diagrams. So dia tak letak hukuman for the student.
So I show you an example. This one bukan exam question Ini untuk session teaching biasa saja. We did I do a team-based learning session to introduce concept of palliative care for students. So apa I buat? I bagi dia orang OBA question 5 kat sini. Okay. Tapi saya tak ikut guideline link lah sebab saya pergi masukkan A dot, B dot, C dot. So saya tak shuffle answer option. But it doesn't matter for me because this is not a test. Okay. The good thing about Google Form is that dia bagi you some summary juga lah. You boleh nampak taburan markah. Boleh tengok mean, median dan range. You boleh nampak histogram. Okay. And then they will show you which one are the questions that are frequently missed. Okay. They will show you the scores. And kat sini I also set not to release the score. So kalau nak kat sini kan semua tak release pun sebab this I didn't want them to focus on their marks. So I tak release kat sini. Okay. They will give you analysis of how many percent jawab option mana, berapa persen yang betul. This is for OBA lah. Okay. So ini apa yang you boleh buat kalau you pakai Google Form untuk buat OBA. So if you do by question, macam tadi kan, by question, you can see answer from ni. It will show you what are the answer yang secara cumulative daripada semua student sebenarnya for OBA. Okay. And you can click here, kalau kat sini kan you click, it will tell you siapa yang jawab apa supaya you boleh pergi kepada individual student punya responses untuk mark kalau you nak. Okay. And macam biasa kalau individual you see the paper answer script per student lah, so you can have different views. So same like macam yang Moodle yang macam kat you can follow kan, you boleh tengok either per student punya paper atau you nak tengok per question. So kalau you nak tengok per question then you boleh buat marking satu-satu lah. Any questions ke setakat ni? Tak ada question kan? Semua okay. Kalau tak saya tinggalkan sini sebab I pun quite camera shy. I nak jalan-jalan kalau ada orang nak tanya then I boleh tunjuk. Boleh? Tanya soalan apa? Tanyalah. You tak payah save. Dia automatic. Dia macam Google Docs kan. Google Docs ni dia semua kat dalam cloud tau. Dia kat awan. So apa yang you type automatically save. So cuma bahayanya ialah kalau you dah buat kertas soalan, you nak susun semula. Right, you jangan salah susun atau accidentally tarik soalan ke tempat lain, nanti you punya paper akan rosak lah nanti. Okay, tadi Kak Syikin ada tanya question, now I just remembered. Ada satu benda yang kalau katakan you nak macam mana you nak susun layout kan, you can rearrange the questions easily. Sekejap ini, right. Demo lagi satu Whether it is OBA question or KFQ question ke apa, alright? Because setiap satu ni adalah satu section kan. If katakan I nak tukar order soalan ni, I nak select treatment option dulu sebelum differential diagnosis, quote-quote lah. Right? You just move your cursor, pergi kat this 6 dot kat sini. Your cursor akan berubah jadi arrow yang 4 direction tu. So you click, hold, you tarik ke atas. You boleh susun semula soalan ni. Right? In fact, you want to move it from one section to the other section pun boleh. Tapi the only thing is that masa you susun paper ni, sebelum you release kepada student, you have to check and make sure that the order semua betul. So if you want to do for OBA tadi, sebab you jenis OCD juga, you nak juga ada paragraph cantik tu, you boleh juga pakai sama ada yang TT ni, atau you nak pakai section. Tapi kalau you pakai section, section ialah satu muka surat dalam borang you. So kalau you pakai section saja, then you pakai description dalam section tu untuk buat paragraf cantik tu, nanti you satu muka surat, satu MCQ sajalah, satu OBA sajalah. But if you want to have multiple MCQ in a page, and you nak juga ada paragraf cantik tu, you pakai add title and description ni. Cuma you tak boleh shuffle question order. You cannot shuffle question order, but you can shuffle answer options if you want. Okay, so aku klik tu, dia muncul kat sini. Sometimes you klik, mana pergi aku nak dia keluar, you scroll ke bawah ke atas ke, sometimes dia muncul kat bawah, depending on where your cursor was before you click the TT tu. Then you boleh type lah, tak nak type title pun tak apa, you tulis kat sini lah. Clinical history. Clinical history. Betul. Okay. Physical examination. Tutut. Then baru tak ni. Then lead in question, you letak kat bahagian question lah, so kat sini. What is the most likely diagnosis? Then baru you letak kat sini. Okay? Kat sini, shuffle option order. Dah, semua orang dah tak ada soalan. Yang itu up to us. If you nak kalau you buat as a quiz, alright, you kan akan letak answer key tu berapa point kan, iaitu student boleh nampak berapa point. Tapi sebab kita tidak dibenarkan masuk answer key, you have to manually masukkan markah lah. Kalau OBA tak payah nak masukkan markah untuk setiap question kan. Tapi contoh kalau macam untuk key feature ni, you kata list to most appropriate differential diagnosis, full stop, bracket, tempat, markah. Markah pula, marks. So you just type in there lah, the student will see. Jangan panik tak jumpa save button sebab all changes save in drive, dia automatic. Letak mikrofon. Prof Azmi, aku nak tinggalkan podium. I nak tinggalkan podium sudah.
Okay. Dah ni.
Saya leave this laptop here in case nak. Tak boleh unless you create image. You nak letak, you create your image with PowerPoint. You save it to the correct dimension. You insert that as a, you insert the image as a good question. I have a good question from Dr. Yo, because triad is actually combination of 3 different departments punya paper, macam mana kan? Okay, each department can create their own section, alright? But what you can do is that you go to the settings, you go to presentation, okay? Confirmation message ni at the end after they submit, right? You can put here, click, you give them the link to the next Google form for them to answer. Okay, so that means that contoh ENT, Optal, NSN, betul. So ENT, let's say ENT, dia buat soalan ENT dulu, kalau katakan kita setuju lah, ENT buat dulu, alright? Optal punya Google Form punya link, kena bagi kepada orang yang buat form ENT, copy and paste the link for Optal punya link kat sini. Click here to proceed. To proceed to next question. Okay. So bila dia dah click submit, this message will pop up. So they can click that and then they go to the next question. And the answers will not go to the wrong department because the answers still go to the form. So, okay?
Like for this is backup, right? The real trial exam with the exam.
Yang itu you buat kita mau modul mana? So if you ada kita modul, the quiz will be part of separate module. There is no direct link among those, but what you can do is that probably at the end, at the final part of the table, you have the speaker, now is the last question, and then the speaker please go to module 5.1 to do the next section of the paper. So dia ada part khusus dia ada jam khusus. That's why I lari.
Okay. Okay, siapa nak QR code boleh QR code ya. Okay.
Tak ada. Sebab you dah disable quiz, so you have to manually type the berapa No, I'm asking. Can turn off lah. Can turn off this one.
I'd like to thank all participants of this lecture. Hope it was quite informative. Although it's actually quite simple, I think to explore even on our own as well. Hopefully we managed to give you some extra pointers and wish you all the best in your exams.
Wait, cikgu lagi stress dari student oh. Hah? Dah, aku save ni. Okay, sudah dimasukkan satu ni, nanti Mawadah and the others can also just put in their stuff in here lah. Dia senang kita nak cari balik fruit is popular during COVID?
Dia belasah nanti siapa? Dia rumah dia. Nampak gambar kampung dia nampak.
Okay.
Dia pakai juga, bawa pakai juga. Air. Gambar air.